What's up, everybody? There's really no other way for me to make this video, but it's titled Beyond the Wall of Sleep, the Ritual. And I hope everybody had a very, 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 intense ritual setting that was, just provided for us with the summer solstice. And knowing the abundant amount of energy that the change of the seasons provides for those who know how to connect with energy, redirect energy, absorb energy, and how to transmute energy into physical objects or to circumstances, fueling our alchemical transformation and all that shit I talk about. But over the weekend, with the summer solstice, I had, I planned on doing the ritual. And then, it took place Friday night. And it was the most powerful shit that I've ever experienced. And I need you to really, if you're on this way, I need you to really, really pay attention to what the fuck I'm about to be saying. My whole ritual was multiple different things that I wanted to tap into, that I wanted to, get a clearer understanding of. And this one, for these particular rituals, I didn't write them down. I didn't read them to myself in the mirror like I talk about, like I recommend doing. I did this all trusting the subconscious mind programming that I already had within me to just lead the way. So it was basically, I was surrendering control of the ritual. And by surrendering to it, I'm in control of it, like, so to speak, outside of space and time, so to speak. It's an analogy I use. So, going into my ritual setting, in front of my altar, and also while listening to certain binaural frequencies, like whether it's 7.5 hertz, 9.41 hertz, that's the pyramid frequency, 9 hertz, different wavelengths of frequency correspond to certain portions of the brain, which correspond to certain attributes or certain things that come online when you're doing this, when you have a focused intention in tapping into certain things. And one of the experiences, well, I'm gonna tell you a couple of them, but I need you to really, really listen to this shit, because I tapped into some shit that I never thought about, I never even knew was possible, or like fully embodying or downloading my true self into my everyday reality, into my everyday dream, lucid dream that I talk about, where I'm like fully connected with myself. I don't have to do a ritual anymore to get these downloads. I don't have to put myself on a form of self-hypnosis to get the downloads. It's like I'm connected to it, and it's instantaneous. It's instantaneous for me now. But it all happened because of what happened this weekend. So as I'm getting deeper and deeper into the meditation and understand triple black darkness in front of my altar, right? All the shadow work came up. I went straight there, straight to the shadow work. Any blockages, any forms of limitation, but they didn't manifest themselves in a normal fashion how I normally have set them up. They manifested for me as, if you can imagine, me having all of this power, unlimited potential, unlimited influence over the hyperverse, over creation, over every multi-dimensional incarnation that I'm having within matter, so to speak. And it's presented with me with all of that power. But the shadow work came in at, am I going to be abusive of this power? Am I going to be abusive in the way that I influence people that listen to my videos? Will I lead them astray? Will I promote forms of disempowerment? Will I promote forms or speak into existence lack, fear, condemnation, victimhood, things of that nature? And that's when I immediately, my entire essence encompassed El Cristo Negro. I became El Cristo Negro. Like I embody that energy a lot. But that's the Lord of the underworld. You see what I'm saying? So when I was embodying El Cristo Negro, that's when the first time ever that all the other entities from the Apollo Mayombe, all of them came up and they was all surrounded me. Well, I'm El Cristo Negro in the middle. And they confronted me on some shit like, okay, nigga, you been rocking with this energy for a long time. I got memes that promote myself as this Black Christ person, this Black Christ entity that's getting these downloads, talking this shit I talk, doing consultations, speaking on the same shit I'm speaking of in videos, but more on a personal level. So they checked me. Like, nigga, you know what I'm saying? Basically, not through words, not through telepathy. We was all, like, I'm all connected with these entities. So it's more of an internal, cellular form of communication through the melanin, through the genetics. But we wasn't in bodies. We was more fluid. Like, I would consider it like hydrocarbon or black goo, but it's fluid, it's spirit. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about. So I'm getting these downloads, and I'm getting the impression that I set this up to prove to myself that I was worthy to embody these energies, to embody this energy as El Cristo Negro, to encompass all of what that means to have people on the planet who worship and pray up to this entity, up to this, you know what I'm saying, up to this Black Christ entity that's connected to the thought form of Jesus and every other Messiah archetype throughout creation. So had a rush, like a tsunami of all of that energy, all the worships and prayers that, you know what I'm saying, that humans attribute to a divinity of something outside of themselves. And it was up to me on how I was going to use that energy. You see what I'm saying? So that's when the heart chakra came up. So what I did was I absorbed all of that energy. And understand that while I was absorbing this energy, I was indifferent to it. Whether I wasn't happy, I wasn't sad, I wasn't thinking like a human would. You see what I'm saying? I was indifferent to the energy because I transmutated it to a raw energy, and I was using that energy to fuel my heart chakra, to clear it, to get through the higher gateways that I was planning on getting to during the ritual. You see what I'm saying? This was the first stage. So I did that. Cleared it up and I stored it, being pure heart. And I imagined while I was doing this, I had to think of everything within my entire existence that signifies the color green. Like instantly, I had to think. So what I'm telling you is that everything within your reality, everything within your holographic reality that you project from your subconscious mind, I mean everything from the subatomic particle all the way up, is a direct manifestation that you set up within your reality to remind you of who and what you are at all times. It's just that it's outside of your perception. You forgot how significant it was to look at a blade of grass that signifies the color green that corresponds with the green heart chakra, which corresponds to when you're doing intense ritual work, it'll come up. The color green will come up all the time. That's why the Mother Earth is green. That's why we always talk about, that's why things are set up within your life where the color green is very, very important. You have no idea how subtle and how impactful and profound it is until you're doing some real intense ass rituals and shit. When you're doing shadow work, little small things like that jump out. So it was up to me to gather everything green within my reality that I had to remind myself on why I set it up in such a way. Like my supervisor in here, his last name is green. My other supervisor in here, his favorite color is green. You see what I'm saying? So all of them things set up and you just get it. It's like an aha moment on you understanding why you set up your life in such a way as a ritual, as a fucking setup, as a ritual for your alchemical transformation all the motherfucking time. Every little small detail, every little word somebody that says to you means something to you. It means something. It's going straight to your subconscious mind. It's being cataloged. It's being compiled, a form of information that you will have to utilize once you're doing intense ritual work, intense alchemical transformation, intense flushing your mind, quieting your ego, and letting the subconscious mind take control by surrendering to it. You see what I'm saying? So I had to do that. I had to really remind myself. Like everything jumped out that was green to me. Every fucking thing. Godzilla. I mean, just so many different things. I mean, some shit like this, some little mundane shit, like the motherfucking, how many goddamn green M&Ms that I have in here and shit like that. The green lining of this motherfucking you know what I'm saying, the little shit I put my fucking M&Ms in. Little small shit. Small things like that have such an impact when you're doing this work. When you need to, you know what I'm saying, go and work on your heart chakra to clear things up. That's what I did. And from that point on, that's when I was immediately, never had this experience before. This is some real shit. Immediately, I was catapulted where I was like, it's like I split myself. I was like fractured myself off into multiple different realities. And the one I want to focus on right now is the one of the Siggy ceremony that took place in the early 1900s. I was immediately brought back into that moment, into that ritual, into the motherfucking Mali, somewhere in West Africa. That's all I knew. It was dark. It was niggas on horses. It was motherfuckers, niggas was playing drums. Drum intense ass shit. Where I was walking down, it was like I was walking down a motherfucking path, right? And I'm looking at myself and I got all these sigils, tattoos it looks like, of all these different, what I'm now understanding was star systems, right? I'm looking at myself. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? It's nighttime. This motherfucking niggas got lit up as torches and motherfuckers just playing drums. And I understood the drums were, they were programming my biology, my genetics, and they were unlocking shit with the intensity of and the frequency of the drum pattern. That's why drums are so powerful. It's a weapon. It's a form of communication, not just across land and distance, but a communication on our cellular structure, on our biology, on our melanin. And as I'm walking down, they intense. As I'm walking, they get playing it more and more intense. The shit getting more and more intense, more and more momentum. And I'm noticing that I'm starting to get downloads before I even finish walking down to the path on where I'm walking. And I'm walking, and I noticed it was this fucking blue light. And I understood this blue light to be the light that a lot of people that contact me on the astral plane, I tell them that you will see a flash of blue light, like a royal blue. It was that exact same color, and that exact same color was the color spectrum of Sirius B. Now I understand why I'm so connected with that energy. We're in that color spectrum. It was, you know what I'm saying, in the center was white, but on the outside was that blue color. And I'm walking closer to it. And as I'm walking closer to it, like I said, the more intensity of that playing with the drums, the more clear the communication gap, the more clear the forms of a communication gap with my cellular structure, with now I understand, with my ancestors that was speaking to me through me. But as I'm walking closer to the light, I'm dematerializing. I'm losing my physical existence. Where what I understood was I was being absorbed into the light. I was being absorbed by Sirius B, so to speak. Where I was being transported to Sirius B. And that's where the fuck I went. And when I went there, it's like you imagine like on Stargate, when they go through the Stargate and you just see their body just like being like broke down to energy and being sucked through, and they go through wormholes and shit like that. I didn't go through no wormhole. When I went through, I went immediately there, and it was triple black darkness. Where the only thing that was illuminating the environment that I was in was my level of consciousness, was my self-illumination. And the only thing that I can feel this void with was what I created within my subconscious mind. And that's where all my subconscious reprogramming kicked in, of what I am, of self-deification, of self-actualization, of speaking all the shit I talk about, being the Titan. You see what I'm saying? Being born a god, but using the alchemical transmutation to turn into something new, to represent a new archetype, to represent a new, or provide a new conscious download for those on my way to be able to resonate with and to be able to use in their own ritual settings to bring about the same, or, you know what I'm saying, similar alchemical transformation for them on a personal level, on a one-on-one level for them, how they can customize it and use my examples and use my, you know what I'm saying, my level of my imagination, if you will, to cultivate their own ritual for them to get the downloads necessary for them to reach their highest potential. And that's what I did. And I can tell you that man, somebody had to do this shit. It had to be me. And while I was doing this shit, I was recording it. So I made a voice recorder on all that shit. So if you're interested and want to hear that shit, want to hear me on my, you know what I'm saying, on my journey and me getting these downloads, I'll provide it to you. Just hit my email up and I'll be in contact with you. But when I go back to this experience and what it was like, it goes back to when I talk about being connected with everything. That's what it felt like. But also, it came with a responsibility. And it came with a sense of, I don't want to say a warning, but a sense of just knowing, just being aware of how powerful you are and how you set up everything within your reality to be a reminder of who and what you are at all times. I don't care how mundane it is. I don't care if you look at it and you fuck it up when you view it from a human perspective, because you're not human. This is what the shit I'm talking about is beyond melanin. It's beyond race. It's beyond what you consider to be a black person or a white person. This shit dealing with the deepest, most primordial part of your essence. It transcends race. This shit don't have nothing to do with what we consider to be a black man, a white man. Nah, this is some deeper internal shit. Like the deepest you can fucking get of what this is. This is, and it's of an extraterrestrial origin. We are fucking extraterrestrial. We are fucking this shit here, man. This little flesh shit. I mean, trust me. You're not gonna hear. I'm not gonna keep talking about that, but it's so far beyond what you can believe if you're thinking like a human. If you're looking at this shit from a human lens or human perspective, this past, you will never be able to get this shit. You see what I'm saying? You won't be invited to the party because you place limitations and restrictions on yourself. But it came with a sense of always being aware in the moment of any lifetime that you have, any incarnation, just being still and listening, and just listening to what you set up and then your reality, and you will see it. It's all around you. Your examples of who and what you are is in everything you look at. You see what I'm saying? When you close your eyes, you right back home where you at, and that's triple black darkness. And the only thing that brings illumination to it is your self-illumination, is your consciousness, is your work. And you fill that void with the creativity and your imagination. That's the real reality. That's your real reality. It's being unlimited. It's being everything and everybody. Like that type of shit. That's some real shit. I want you to understand that shit. You see what I'm saying? This is beyond morals. This is beyond right and wrong. None of that shit has a leg to stand on outside of space and time. None of that shit has a leg to stand on. So when I was in Sirius, when I went to Sirius B, like I said, triple black darkness, that's when I understood how we can fuel. It's almost like we're fucking, you look at Sirius B here, but our conscious energy is being filtered through Sirius B, and it's being filtered down here through the sun, and it's going within everybody's brain, which is projecting their holographic reality. But it's a program. It's like a computer. Like if you look at our consciousness, it's kind of like, or it's not, I just want to say our consciousness, but the reason why we did this, we set up a simulated reality. We set up a simulation where we can fracture ourselves off, where I'm going to speak for myself, where I can fracture myself off, and I'm literally everything and everybody within my reality. I'm the foundation of it, because everything has a central nervous system. Everything has a brain, so to speak, or some form of an apparatus of consciousness or sentience within them. Whether it's a rock, whether it's a moba, whether it's a virus, whether it's a mushroom, whatever. It has a consciousness, because I'm the consciousness that's fueling whatever shape it's in, whatever biological organism or animate or inanimate object it is. Like, you got to understand something. I fracture myself off into everything, and I can have an experience of living out my incarnation at any and everything within my reality, within creation, within a story. So if I want to live my motherfucking life out within the narrative of Superman within DC Comics, I can do that. And I would get energy from that. And I would have an experience and something to take back home to where we at outside of space and time with the alchemical transformation within the fictitious character that we call Superman within the comic book. All of this shit down here is fictitious because all of it is a fucking dream. It's a dream on top of a fucking dream. And right now I told you I'm lucid dreaming. This is not real. But we set this shit up, this simulated reality that's pixelated, that's built on ones and zeros and ones like a binary code. It's a computer. And your matter, material existence itself is a form of a computer. You see what I'm saying? Melanin is the most advanced biological artificial intelligence in creation. And another form of artificial intelligence is a human being. You see what I'm saying? So it was being in this state. Being in this state brought about so much. It cleared up everything for me. And so much so, mind you, I'm still on Earth in front of my altar listening to my binaurals. So I'm stimulating my brain. I'm doing this. I set up the frequencies to be able to have full cognition and full memory of when I come back to, like I do now. Like I'm fully connected with this energy all the time. I'm fully embodying what it is to be the Titan, to be everything I talk about. That's who I am now. You see what I'm saying? Full download, full transmission. 100%. I remember everything. I don't have to write shit down. I recorded it, but I set my brain waves, the frequency, to produce that effect. So that's why I tell people who are doing this, pushing the envelope on unlocking portions of their brain, tapping into portions of their mind to, you know what I'm saying, help enhance or increase the potency of your ritual work, especially with the change of the seasons, with the solstices. Very, very impactful work, and I highly recommend anybody really got to really take advantage of the opportunity that you set up within yourself to embody this energy. It's all around you. Everything around you, everything you set up within your reality is made by you to cultivate your alchemical transformation. First and foremost, as the foundation or root reason for why you created existence. Everything else you add on to it. It's a cherry on top. But at the end of the day, it's for your alchemical transformation, and it's up to you with your level of perception on how you do that and how you see that for yourself. There's no right or wrong way to do it. The right way is your way. So I was like split off, multi-dimensional different realities. And I can just, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to speak on this too, because when I was listening to the frequencies, it literally I felt my mind bending and stretching past all forms of limitation and restriction, not just from things that I may have thought in my life. I'm talking about human fucking thought, all the limitations that the collective unconscious mind of humanity places on a human being's form of what they able to comprehend. I felt all of that shit. And I was sitting at the dinner table. It's about 12:30, 1 o'clock. And I felt like I was about to have a brain aneurysm. Like my head was about to fucking explode, right? So I had to go to where I'm most comfortable. And that was the dark. That was in front of my altar. And when I went down there, that's when I fucking calmed down. Like, damn, man, I really feel like this shit really stretching. It's really bending. It's going past all boundaries. It's really expanding. So I had to concentrate and just hone in my energy. You see what I'm saying? Hone in on it, but use it to fuel my ritual. And so this is where it got really, really interesting. So I was starting to come, like I left Sirius B, but I had full cognition of what I am outside of space and time as a Rogue Titan. Rogue Titan is my servitor or avatar, but what I am, you can't put no name to what the fuck I am outside of this shit. You can call it God or Titan. That's what the fuck I am, and that's what you should look at me as a reflection of what you are within the deepest part of yourself, because we all went outside of this shit. And I got full 100% cognition and memory of this shit. I'm connected to that shit, but it's all internal and it's subjective. But so when you hear my audio, just understand that you're hearing this shit come from my level of consciousness, my work, and my subconscious programming coming online for me to do everything that I'm doing. And another thing before I go forward on what happened in front of my altar is that you got to stand on the shit that you talk about. You got to stand on it, meaning that you can't motherfucking take a backseat to no entity, no god, goddess that you may create for yourself. you gotta be the motherfucker. You gotta be deified all the motherfucking time. You gotta control your reality all the motherfucking time. You can't relinquish no motherfucking control. And you gotta be willing, and you gotta be motherfucking ready to slay whatever come up. If you get say for example, if Kylie want to come up to you and challenge you on really testing who the fuck you is and shit like that, you gotta slay Kylie. You gotta devour Kylie. I don't give a fuck what entity or demon that you look at and being some badass motherfucker. Ain't nobody more badass or more dominant than you, because you created all these archetypes to serve you, to challenge you in every course and step of the way for your alchemical transformation as a test to see and for you to show and prove to your motherfucking self on who and what you are at all motherfucking times. You see what I'm saying? So when I was coming back down, I'm still thinking hyperdimensionally. But my altar, how I set my altar up, them niggas literally, like we talk about, I have a, you know what I'm saying, an altar is a vortex, right? But them niggas, they ain't never came to life like this. These niggas literally came to life on my altar. I'm seeing niggas move, and I'm seeing how I got certain shit set up where I got Muhammad Ali, I got Captain America, I got Thanos, I got the fucking Pinhead, I got the fucking, you know what I'm saying, the Pandora's box. You know what I'm saying? I got motherfucking Loki, Thor, Kratos, my nigga Rebo, Cthulhu, all my Necronomicon, Lo Santísimo Muerte, El Cristo Negro, everything. But what I realize is they all have personalities, and they all are built on the thought forms that's attributed from humanity, their belief system in them. So Vader and Darth Sidious on my altar, and they like, I got Vader over here and I got Sidious down here, and them niggas started fighting. Just like in the movie, because they got built up ass fucking, get this, they got built up aggression based on the last encounter them motherfuckers had in Return of the motherfucking Jedi. That shit carries on. That shit still happens. So them niggas had attitude. Them niggas was fighting on my motherfucking altar. Luke Skywalker right there. Them niggas was trying to, like, you know what I'm saying? Just like how you would imagine them niggas fighting in the movie. Them niggas was fighting in front of my altar. With lightsabers and everything. And another motherfucking fight was between Thor and motherfucking Malekith due to the War of the Realms that's going on within the Marvel comics and shit like that. Where that nigga Malekith is going throughout the 10 realms and he wreaking havoc and shit like that. So that nigga Thor and Malekith was going at it on my motherfucking altar. And they own reality. You see what I'm saying? Shit moving. Nigga Thanos in the back with the fucking Infinity Gauntlet on and shit, lighting it up. All kind of shit. Lo Santísimo Muerte just flying through that shit. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just. And I'm just sitting there looking at this shit like, wow, man, this, what the fuck? You see what I'm saying? But I'm understanding this all taking place within my mind, right? But it's, you got to understand something, that all of these characters, all of them are reflections of you. All of them are a part of you. You, everything within your reality is coming from you, is what I'm saying. And you can communicate with these entities, these archetypes, anytime you want to. You don't necessarily got to be in front of your altar. You don't necessarily got to do a ritual, nigga. You become the ritual. You become the walking altar. That's what I'm saying. Shit, Dr. Manhattan there and shit, you know what I'm saying? Just chilling and shit, trying to understand. And just imagine what Dr. Manhattan would be looking at on my altar, trying to make sense of what the fuck he's saying. You know what I'm saying? He's very intellectual, very, you know what I'm saying? Very, very intelligent on his form of thinking and shit like that. He's just trying to make sense on what the fuck, the chaos that he's looking at. It was absolutely motherfucking amazing. Like, my sigil just lit up. So what I'm understanding is all of that work I put in with my sigils that I send out through memes and shit like that, all of that was building the intensity and momentum of the energy that I used to do what I did with my ritual. To break past the there's no veil for me no more. That now I'm fucking fully, I mean, I always talked about I can see this shit, my third eye open, but it's levels to this shit. It's certain levels that it's no limit to the different levels of awareness and your level of perception at all times, how it increases. And how I took my mind and I just fully hey, there's no restrictions no more. At least I don't think it is. I'm sure I'm gonna do another ritual where I'm gonna prove myself wrong right now and even tap into deeper and more darker, you know what I'm saying, alien extraterrestrial portions of myself and be able to tap into and get more downloads. That's the type of shit I'm talking about. So I don't want to be looked at. I don't want to be I don't want nobody to praise me, worship me. People doing that every Sunday when they go to church. People do that every time they go to a mosque. I am these entities. I am these divinities that they worship. The thing is, I want to remind you motherfuckers, whoever hearing this shit, right, is that you got to deify yourself. You gotta stand on the throne of being the god, goddess, or whatever, the Naga serpent, whatever it is that you want to call yourself, representing both evil and good, God, devil, angel, demon. You gotta embody that shit all, and you gotta handle the responsibility that it holds in being, you know what I'm saying, having all that energy, all that fear we get, and all that love we get. You gotta encompass that shit all, and you gotta be 100 with it, and you gotta use that shit to fuel your alchemical transformation and being whole within everything within creation. That's what I did. You see what I'm saying? I owned it. But I don't go about that shit thinking like a human. Go about that shit thinking like a scientist that you are, that you set up all of this shit for this reason. You set up God concept, a devil concept, a Muslim, Christian, whatever. We created this motherfucking, this matrix, this simulated reality. You see what I'm saying? This prison planet. It's not a prison planet to you, the scientists who created this shit. Nah, we got to segue for a minute. This is a prison planet for the so-called, you know what I'm saying, portions of white folk who was created within this false reality that they are trapped here. They can't go nowhere. Like I told you, they can't leave. They're trapped within this dimension. They're trapped within our subconscious mind. They call it the matrix. They call it, you know what I'm saying, being ruled over by the archons. That taps us. That's what we are to them. They're rulers. They're jailers. So I ask you this question. Why do you think unconsciously, you understand something, we're working through them? Everything they do is our being. Why do you think unconsciously we may be at the bottom, so to speak, where we're the motherfucking fuel for everything that goes on within reality? What I mean, that we set all the trends. We are the, you know what I'm saying, we're the ones that's being